Okay, we are back at the World Cup. So there should be a Night's Watch China-Poland game coming up, and is it? Did I read correctly that it's the Poland Martell deck against Lannister from China?
Yeah, I saw that it was the Martell deck. I'm not sure what it's against.
So in that case, we
I was
could
gonna say,
have a look.
I think from what is reported now, it should be 2-1 for China.
Okay, let's have a look. So they have 5 games unreported. Let's see if this is any clearer. Not really, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, 5 games unreported, although I think some of these have been played. Yeah, difficult to know. So 2-1 for China, you say? Okay.
The Greyjoy Winter deck that just won against the White Book. Then it was the one game that we just seen. Or no, not the one game that we just seen. The Baratheon game, I think, was played already.
We're missing on some entertainment. That's too bad. Okay. By the way, so for who gets the first pick in the quarterfinals, keep saying that China needs to win 7-1 to match Catalonia. Actually, if they don't win against Poland and only draw, they would have the same amount of points as Austria. Then actually it would be interesting to see who is ahead between them, who is first in the group. And then we need to count the wins. Let's have a quick look. 29 wins for Austria at the moment, and China has...
Sorry, there's some noises here.
China has 27, and they would have 29 as well. That's interesting. But I think China beat Austria in the direct match, did they? Yes. So China needs to draw to finish first in this group. Germany, if Germany wins, they cannot overtake them either. So 4-4 is okay for them. They would finish with the second pick behind Catalonia. So Austria needs China to lose actually to finish first in the group. Okay, let's have a look at the decks then. So Lannister and Martell, we said. And Poland Knights of the Hollow Hill. What we check here usually is the resets. So this one is playing Stranger Morgulis and First Snow, not playing Mad King's Command, which some of them do, and only one Coppers plays Behest. Some play Long Plan, some play both, and an interesting plot here, Fallen from Favor, which you don't usually see. Wonder what that's about. It's basically an econ plot. You can open with it even, because you're not going to have any board, but that's not what these decks usually do. They go into some kind of counting Coppers trying to get around one Varys. And I don't think anything else will surprise us here really. No Secret Pact. One Iron Throne. Yeah, the rest pretty standard. And let's see what the Chinese Lannister deck is doing. It's Lanny Reigns. Lanny Reigns without Heads on Spikes. Okay. Plays 2 resets and 4 huge econ plots plus at the gates. Well, okay, so that's an extremely constructed deck, it seems, but then it resets itself twice, so that's a bit counterintuitive. Doesn't even have any of those new interactions with Spider's Web and Castamere. So we see it's actually quite a shadowy deck.
Yeah.
Plays three copies of Bowels, which is a great draw card, and an econ card potentially, depends what you need. 3 tunnels, which means if it gets the board and gets cards in shadows, then you can just trigger that, everyone gets +4 or whatever, and then it's really difficult to push challenges. But that's not actually what this matchup will come down to, that's the thing. I mean, usually against Martell Knights of the Hollow Hill, you just need characters to be able to do challenges, and that wins the challenges almost by default. So strength doesn't matter. There is one Alchemist Guild Hall and one Red Keep, which can cancel stuff. Do we have Treacheries? No, but we do have Hand's Judgment. And we have some stuff that escapes the board. One Paint Dogs is here and one Hound, even that's a little weak. Robert Strong, okay, Clever Feint, that could help a little bit. And you have all the econ you need, basically. Cersei wants to stay though. And I'm guessing she won't be allowed to.
Hello, Connor.
Trick diamonds as well.
Hello, hello. The game has started, by the way, I believe.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
alright.
Let's have a look then. So, no setup for Martell, as we know, and Lannister sets up some locations and goes for Late Summer Feast in the opening to get a board against Behest into coppers. And the cancel location is not here, but all the others are. One time when Mad King's Command actually in Martell Hollow Hill would have been extra useful.
Yeah, interesting to see that Templar is playing Martell. I usually only see him play Night's Watch.
Same thing.
So I wonder if it's his deck or if
No, he's replacement player.
he's a replacement, yeah.
But he does play the grindy Night's Watch deck, so it kind of does make sense that they've put him on this over other people.
Yeah, I think they had to improvise a little bit with scheduling problems here.
Makes sense.
Doesn't hugely matter for either team what the result is, but yeah.
Pride.
Here we go, one copy of Animus Blade, but always is available.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And what's the...
Clever Feint? Oh, did he? Yeah, I think he tried to play it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is there gonna be another one?
Does it resolve?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of resources spent just to save
Penny, but it's also, yeah.
Yeah, but she has a stealth and power icon, which could be pretty good in late game, right? Or even right now.
I mean, you'd well, use faction cards, no. Otherwise, you'd do intrigue, wouldn't you? And then use, I don't know, even tunnels doesn't do anything for him. Tunnels would give +2, right?
If there's any plots in the Reigns deck that would be hugely beneficial now.
Riddle if it's in there, but I doubt it.
Oh, Riddle would actually be really nice.
Well, he's got the gold with Bow, it's not drawn a card.
So other card maybe Mandan, but or what?
There is Riddle, so
Okay.
that can be played anyway. So
Yeah, but there's normally 2 draw plots in these Hollow Hill decks, right? So
There's only one coppers in this one.
yeah, I think we
Ooh.
looked and there's only one copper, so that's gone. You're gonna have fallen from favor if you want to copy that.
Not really, unless like one of your bigs gets milked. I don't know.
And this is the stuff coming out. So I assume, I forgot, but I assume this one plays King's Landing as well, which is great with these landing locations that have the King's Landing trait and come out like this in dominance. You spend them in challenges, then in dominance they come back out and you can draw a card with them, and then they stand in the standing phase to be used next round as well.
Yeah, 2 copies of King's Landing.
Yeah, I've seen that used in this deck and in some Baratheon decks. Well, I've played it in Baratheon. I think I'm the only person in the world, and that's it. No one else trying it anywhere. When I say this deck, I mean with this Lannister strategy. There it is. It's been even played in Banner Falcon, which is kind of the only Falcon that has been played with a decent win rate in some tournaments. And there we are. Look at the draw potential there. So it's drawn to, and it can even get econ. So can it kneel Tower of the Hand?
You need to kneel it, but if you're not planning to return something, yes.
Yeah, I mean from this round onwards it will just kneel itself and lying it, and it's fine. Bowers can kneel, right?
Yeah. It also needs to kneel for it to.
Oh, Bowers is not King's Landing. Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, I was looking at
Tunnels,
tunnels.
Tunnels has to kneel, but I think there's a good chance that you're not gonna need tower. Or can you I'm just reading how the tower is written. You can't just take your character to hand, right?
No.
Yeah. On the empty board. Because there is no Harrenhal, so you might want to use tower to get the card that was dropped in.
Martell might be slightly struggling to do stuff with no board on the other side. That probably doesn't know exactly what to do from this point.
Yeah, Shadows is a good matchup, I think, for it.
Needs to play out some stuff though, because it's reserve, so may as well. Although if you're reserve, then House then Escort is a perfect card to get rid of. Ah, there we go. So that's a potential Reigns trigger.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that you want to do that now, right? Do Intrigue get him back to hand with tower?
And what do you flip into?
You can't flip into Riddle. You could do Game of Thrones. There is no Intrigue icons, but...
You might not use it. You might just use it to bounce the Escort.
I think you'll want to use it because you're in the late summer feast.
Yeah, but if it
So
doesn't
if
do
you want
any
to do
other
other
challenges,
challenge-
yeah.
Depends, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter if he's feeding him his in cards. His reserve is 6, but he gets to keep the best of it.
Yeah, you have... The only other that you could play is...
I don't
know.
I don't see point. I don't see Pointy End doing anything really in this matchup.
Yeah, Pointy End's not doing anything. I mean, there could be later rounds where you use filthy accusations. Or you could use it now, I mean, and kneel this guy, but it's not the best.
Yeah, there's never going to be I mean, could use Open Revolt if he had it. At some point.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to be overly difficult to win Intrigue by 5 if you've got Tywin in with Harrenhal every round.
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup for Lannister actually, because with Bowers in play, It's one of those again where it's so difficult to just completely run out of cards. So maybe a lay based on bowels could be decisive.
Yeah.
But now King's Landing is there as well. That's going to draw.
Yeah, if you lose bowels, he goes and gets Castle Rock, right? Or the Guildhall.
Well, there we are. Now if this brings Castle Rock. I was going to say if it brings something like a Lion Gate, that you can immediately kneel that to draw a card if you didn't spend the limit on King's Landing yet. So Tunnels comes back. Each character you control gets +1 strength. If you don't control any characters, I don't think you can use that. But he did. Can you use that?
Kneel it to... Yeah, because kneeling it and...
To return it. Oh, you
No,
can.
it's
Okay,
just-
it's
yeah.
in the den part. Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're just paying the cost, right?
No, the effect is to return it to shadows, and that can always happen.
Yeah.
That's completely legal. Yeah. But if it said kneel and return to shadows to have each
Two,
character gain,
yeah.
then it wouldn't work. He's given up on Venom's Blade.
Is there any other... So there's Chiswick that's a target, it's Pycelle. Marcella.
Honestly, this doesn't seem like super great position. I mean, this one can come back in, but
Excuse me.
not a great plot here, I think.
And
It's the
there
most
we are.
money.
This is a draw effect as well if you do this with King's Landing in play. Yeah, this is it. I really enjoy King's Landing if it does this. If it has the locations to kneel for draw and for the econ. And basically, okay, this deck draws like crazy, but if you are playing at one of those grindy games and you're kind of top decking in the late game, you desperately don't want a Lion Gate or something like that. But with King's Landing in play, it doesn't matter. It just replaces itself. Any late game econ just replaces itself, which is great. And Bowers is back, so yeah, tough. Okay.
Oof. Does it have trade routes? Yes,
Yes,
it
of course.
does.
Has 4 econ plots plus at the gates, and then 2 resets. So might want to get rid
So
of those resets now and just start
He's
playing
get-
later.
He's getting 12 gold from his own trade routes right now.
Well, it's not the worst. Starfall plus 2 characters.
Yeah,
That's fine to
Starfall
work.
hits whatever comes in with Harrenhal, right? Just to make sure it dies.
Yeah.
And there's the Robert Strong level of gold.
Spooky.
Hmm. Mysteric Shadows is something that was put there.
It's been there the whole time, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
not Thanos, and Penny is dead, so I think it's new. Or it's one we haven't seen. Yeah, you could leave it and just react if it's Robert Strong. If you want to do a challenge, then you bring something out, but then Starfall will trigger, so it's a bit awkward.
Mm-hmm. It could be a Regent's card, and like 5 gold could just be baiting.
Yeah, then you could Harrenhal Tywin again, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
he does a challenge. If he can't escape, he gets a Regent Guard to go back to hand.
one copy of Painted Dogs and one copy of the Hound. One Gunther. Is there enough gold for Gunther? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we are.
There he is.
Well, which I can do
Oh.
target, I guess, intrigue. Yeah.
Okay, then Tywin comes out with Harrenhal.
Well, there is still a chance to then play that one spy, right? The
The
Martell
Dornish
spy.
spy? Yep.
Okay, so Cersei probably
I
don't
don't
want
know.
her in the dead pile. She has Castamere Rock, and now icon hasn't been removed. Oh, there we are, yeah.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
That's a good one for Martell, really.
But
Block
but
some
it's
immediate threats.
cancelled.
Yeah,
by
but it's cancelled, yeah, of course.
Ah,
'Cause
that's
somewhere off the
unfortunate.
screen there was
Yeah.
the location anyway.
Okay. Yeah, what can you do? I mean, besides everything, it also has a repeatable cancel. Not one time cancel, but repeatable cancel every round. Almost
So what happens
Stark-like.
here? You just block both?
Yeah, ooh,
Okay.
that's not the worst thing. But I think
What's he worried about to not defend that with Ariadne? He just doesn't want to lose it, I guess.
no, I think if you defend with just Ariane, surely there is enough boost from tunnels or no.
Oh yeah, it's +3, so she becomes 9, so it's 9 versus 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But does he bother? We're not going to reveal a riddle.
Game of Thrones, maybe.
Yeah, Game of Thrones not the worst thing.
And you can use Tower now to return her to hand without needing anything else. The problem is,
You return the daughter, maybe.
yeah, it's the only one you don't mind
yeah, you don't-
replayed.
But there's no pushing the mill through, right? Oh well, there is, because Gunther's 6 strength now.
I think it should be okay. You bounce the daughter and then if you reveal Game of Thrones, do military challenge.
Yeah, because there's no way, to push one.
Yeah, I don't think without any gold.
Pinch. Okay, so are we returning 2 characters then? So Pinch was the original card that was in Shadows. It wasn't Robert Strong. So you return the spy because you can cancel it, and then you kill Hotar? No. Okay.
You can cancel Hota anyway. It's more expensive without Ariane. And now Ariane's gone. That's unfortunate.
Is Hotar only 1 copy anyway?
Yes.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter.
And he usually comes in with Ariane, right? There's not that much gold left over.
Gunther's ability triggers as well.
Yeah.
So, okay, Dorn draws 1 in the meantime. Or actually, he triggers first and then. Ooh, Doran's game. I didn't realize this deck.
That's in the deck as well.
I mean, you get your use plots. We are already there basically, but winning by 5.
How are you winning by 5? I don't know.
I guess against empty boards, and then if it's dodgy because you've spent so much time, maybe a quick Doran's game somewhere for a few power swings it your way. Maybe that's the thinking.
Yeah, it probably just pulls you back into it.
And 1 coppers, and it really needed the 2nd coppers, but I think it's kind of hopeless anyway. I mean, the draw is, and the econ is basically infinite here, and you have the cancel, so never going to get a Varys or any of the late game tricks. Just randomly Bowels draws in the standing phase. King's Landing draws in the dominance phase. It's really beautiful, but it's so trigger heavy and so easy to mess up. And it's time consuming, to be fair, so if there was on the other side a Stark crossing that was gaining some quick power, and then you try to catch up with all of these triggers to get all of the resources, you're spending a lot of time to get through rounds.
But with this Tower of the Hand,
None of the
thing.
renowns staying around, yeah.
Well,
12 gold just from the effect, and then you have still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Plus
8,
King's
9
Landing.
from King's Landing, yeah.
and the gold road,
So,
right?
Yeah, and
oh, and the gold road, so it's gonna be 22 gold available. Is that right?
Yeah, he might also use bowels to gain more gold if he needs it.
I don't think he will somehow.
Oh, I remember when the old trade routes when you'd gain 12 gold, but that's just off both of your locations, not your own.
Yeah, still none of the characters can really just come in to stay though, because both players still have
Yeah.
to play their Morgulis, and Harris needs to be played. So once that's gone for Lannister, I think anything that is dupable can come into play to stay then, if he likes.
Yeah, but surely you have some dupes in hand after you've drawn half your deck.
If you're lucky.
Well, but then maybe, yeah, actually, oh, there's the Shadow Tyrion.
There is, what's he putting in there though?
Well, let's see, he can trigger off himself if he likes, right?
Oh, the Rose Road will go into shadows. I didn't even see the Rose Road.
Okay. You can put Lion Gates if you want to replay them for the King's Landing draw, but he has the 2 triggers pretty much guaranteed now every round if he likes. Can he deck himself 31 cards? Long way.
Tyrion has insight, so it's helping.
Well, maybe put something else into shadows, like that pinch, for instance. And a few characters would be useful to get around Starfall. Tywin, okay, comes in to stay. So you see, spent most of the gold. Wasn't too
He
much.
still
Yeah,
has
only
enough.
Marshall 6 caster and 7 caster. Yeah.
Did he put another card in shadows, or was that already there?
I think it's 1 new.
Okay, because he does have Robert Stronggold available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think possibly could be pinch.
Most likely is pinch. Do we see
And
Cersei come
Hardie.
back in with Harrenhal, or is he waiting for him to use Starfall before he does it? Okay, so we know he's got an Ario in hand, right?
Yeah, 1 cancel with Guildhall. Plays 1 red keep, so in this situation actually getting all of those cancels in play would have been as good as anything. So presumably if Cersei comes in, her intrigue, I mean, you can't take everything. Seems pretty hopeless even
No.
with Starfall. Okay, so that's... He has 2, so if this one fails to win by 5, there's another chance. But I don't see how it even could fail.
Even if Ario comes in, then Tywin just does the second one, right?
Yeah, if he even lets it
Cancel
go
it.
and doesn't let it go, okay. I would
Okay.
be tempted to even let it go. There might be something more important to cancel at some point, but okay.
There's
I
nothing
have
else.
enough.
No gold to bring anything else in.
I
There's
could play
nothing that
Last of the
costs you.
Giants into
True.
Varys, for instance, but yeah. I mean, that's not helping him.
Yeah, but
You can
if
bring
he does
bring
that,
it back in.
yeah, you can bring it back in. I think the only is if you do, I guess, Lysa.
Ooh, hits pinch at random.
Pinch is gone.
So one was in
So
hand.
maybe not no pinch in shadows.
Yeah, a character that can return to hand regardless of whether it has an intrigue icon or not is pretty good.
Well,
Still do a power challenge, right?
there's no power
You
to
can't
steal,
currently.
so I guess
Just stop the renown on the unopposed.
Inside.
yeah, time moving slowly or well, quickly for some. So, but honestly, if there's one deck in the long game that's going to always beat Martell Hollow Hill, it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
You really
Yeah, I
need
think
all the unique characters to find themselves into that pile somehow, but they're not going to.
you need the political disaster. No political. Yeah, political disaster would be fine, but
Yeah, Mad King's
Mad
Command.
King's Command. Yeah.
Does he not have power behind the throne?
He does to use it because Painted Dog's gonna stand something.
Oh,
I'll
Tyrion.
be happy with that. Yeah. I mean Tyrion, yes.
I forget that it does that because you only see it with the clansman
Right.
Tyrion, really.
Stand
Yeah, I've also
Tyrion,
seen
okay.
it. Also seen it in the crossing decks, right?
Mm.
I think Martin played it and said that it was doing great.
Okay.
The removal effect. He can ambush
Yeah.
it back in, right?
Yeah. If he has a hound would be good. We've already spent March, right? So
To gain gold.
Well, he's knelt it, so no, it's not cancelling anything in
but there's
dominance.
no gold. Is in Doran's name? So gain gold?
Just speculating.
Unlikely.
I guess he knows that it won't make any difference whether it's knelt or not.
He uses Tyrion to put himself back in shadows.
Makes sense, because there's still more Ghoulish on both sides to come, right?
Yeah, as well as the Hardie, so
Hmm.
I think you have two plots left, so you have to do Morgulis and then the Harris probably.
And the other one for Martell is for snow, if I remember correctly.
Not going to do a lot against a board that doesn't need anything before challenges phase.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like should be one of those decks that's really unpleasant to play against because you just have to click pass, pass, pass on so many random things. This million triggers.
Triggers are the best part of the game.
Mhm. Gets rid of Brown. That's interesting.
Well, he knows first snow's got to come at some point, so
Yeah, but there's gonna be another Morgulis as well, so.
yeah. Maybe he's not planning to keep Tywin around on the board, just maybe bouncing back to hand. He's always got enough money to replay him.
Maybe he just has another dupe now.
Maybe, or another Bronn, or is there only one Bronn?
There. Let's see. Ah, there's only one Brown.
Okay.
Why dupe King's Landing? If it gets lay
There
waste.
is lay waste.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, that opening basically just getting 5 locations in play, that's pretty much the best you can even do in this matchup, I think. As soon as that was found, I think it's kind of guaranteed to have resources for the rest of the game. And here's the thing, right? Whenever this happens, this kind of game, even if somehow it starts going downhill and it's not, from 8-0 you can start to change your strategy and just play defensively and try not to concede any power, and time's just going to run out. But I think he can get to 15 possibly as well. Never any power to steal from the faction card though. Just try to win unopposed challenges now. He can with these guys.
Just do 500 intrigue challenges around, it's fine.
Enough gold for painted dogs to come in naturally and Harmful still there.
Anything new in Shadows? No.
Well, against this board, does he just have a win this round?
So one of the intrigue icons goes. We may have a vengeance for the power challenge, which means it does nothing anyway. And there's no claim, so that doesn't matter.
But no power on the board anyway,
Yeah.
on the faction anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we have one renown.
Okay, so hard marshals, Liza.
Yeah, too bad about that guild hall.
Yeah, I don't see the Lannister player caring about doing military challenges anyway, because all it does is feed the hand.
Unless you're sure that you have the win, you might.
Yeah. If it's the one challenge that wins you the game, sure. But the guild hall is there.
I think he can take it slow. I mean, he could try to use Myrcella's ability and try to get 5 challenges through, most of them unopposed, but it's really not worth it. Just take it slowly. He has to Murgulis himself though, right? Next round, so. Or no, he has 2 more plots, right? Because he has to
Correct,
play
yeah.
it for Martell, yeah.
Yeah, so
And,
he's, what's he got left?
Is it Pentoshi or Loan from the Other Bank or something like that?
It's Pentoshi.
Yes, Pentoshi.
Yeah.
Into first now, okay. Yeah, so he'll win next round. Just take it slowly, get 3 challenges and then win next round. I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure
Probably
why
get a dive into in the meantime anyway.
not sure why we keep getting these super one-sided hopeless games on stream. Seems like we've been a bit unlucky.
Yeah, that was
We missed the earlier
think
one
I-
that was 15-14 or something, right? The
Yeah,
Greyjoy
yeah.
Winter versus the Red White Book. That's unfortunate.
But also just saying, Martell Hollow Hill is always losing, right?
Good. Sorry.
Yeah,
There's nothing against the players. Nothing against the players. Just the deck.
fair enough.
Yeah, some people have actually complained that the restricted list didn't address Martell Hollow Hill at all, but I don't think it's that strong. It's not at its best at the moment. So last year it was clear going into Worlds that it was one of the very top decks. This time I'm not so sure.
Yeah, because wasn't
the
it?
the pods help,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, before the Worlds, I'm not sure because I wasn't completely clear, but before the Worlds last year, it was the time where secret schemes were only potted with honors, right?
Yeah.
And not proper restricted, so I think that was the reason.
Yeah, and they could get
It was so
exchange as
strong.
well, right? They played double exchanges
Yeah.
last year. Yeah. Now they switched to copper, so I think it's not a little bit. I don't think it's dominating.
Mhm.
I'm more worried about Knights of Chaluf, to be honest.
So has something to play here?
Could play a Vengeance, I guess, on the military. For what it's worth.
Do we have Robert Strong to make it unopposed?
Mhm.
But it wouldn't be worth it anyway. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be worth it because then Liza dies for claim and then removes your Tywin or whatever.
Okay, nothing for Water
Interesting.
Gardens, just a bluff.
Well, I suppose you look at 2 cards with Dorn, so always a chance that you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame Tywin can't bounce Liza.
Well, she's here to stay now anyway, I think.
Yeah.
She'll survive
Yeah,
first now.
Yeah, and have to be able to oppose challenges.
So, this actually not enough to get the win by 5, but is there something that you could do?
And
No.
there's the Vengeance. And, of course, and Judgment. Seems like the deck that's winning always has the extra hands Judgment as well. It's 2 played for Lannister, 1 for Martell. That was the sequence earlier with Clever Feint and Venomous Blade at the very beginning of the game. Seems like it was pretty trivial now. One copy of Painted Dogs that randomly stands this Tyrion. It seems like it shouldn't work, and it works.
Well, he can do actually another intrigue challenge, return Marcella to hand, put another Peta Dogs in, and do another intrigue challenge even.
I mean, you may as well, because she's going for first now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you're playing... Yeah, you're playing Pentoshi next round, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or if you don't want to spend the gold, you can just do 1 challenge with Marcella. And then 1 challenge with Tyrion. Yeah. Then you have
You have Dom too.
Yeah, I wonder what the score is for this deck so far. There's one in Israel that is similar. I think it's is it
Is it-
Falcon? I think that one is Falcon, but it's the same strategy, right? Tunnels to dominate the late
yeah,
game.
it's the one that or similar to the one that it was played last year, right?
Yeah. China's sticking with that strategy, but just changing the agenda, which is fair enough. I think Falcons kind of sucks, even if, I mean, it's not a complete disaster, but just play Reigns, whatever.
So
Except that the faction card Neil in Reigns competes with Clairvoyant a little bit.
5.
What are we counting?
it's a bit hard to see.
It's won 5 games so far, and if it wins this, it's won 6.
6 of the 6 of 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was hard to find out because obviously they've got such a big team, different people playing each week. But yeah, it's won 5 so far, and this is the 6th.
It's going to pinch Lysa anyway. She can be brought back with the Pentoshi gold probably next round anyway, pretty easily. But you could hit her for claim. He's got the Martell deck down to 1 card in hand, which is pretty impressive.
It's wild, right?
Although it doesn't play 2 coppers. That's I guess its own void.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
What's the painted dogs here for? Just
to spend the gold.
Okay. They win dominance either way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Langet out of shadows. Has he spent King's Landing yet? No, so that's 1 draw and the Bowers trigger. Yeah, this is my kind of deck. But it does take its time, to be fair. It's round 5. It's kind of dominating board small, but it's slow.
I suppose you could take a bit of a different, more proactive strategy, right? If you're playing against a different deck, but against Hollow Hill, you don't have to worry about being rushed. Yeah.
Oof. Oh.
I think Cersei might be marshaled. Maybe not.
So Pinch is back in shadows. Robert Strong's in shadows.
And there's still gold for Cersei, Robert Strong, and
Okay.
about
He's had
other
enough.
things.
He's had enough.
To be fair, he could have considered 3 rounds ago because it was not happening. But yeah.
No. He was just sat watching
Yeah,
him
but
play with his toys.
Yeah, you don't want to concede before it's guaranteed to lose this round, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, so that's what, 3-1 for China, 4 games left. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I think the ones that Fabro plays will be tomorrow, and there's one more Templar game tomorrow, which is the one deck that plays Night's Watch Red Door with the new location.
Is it not
Quite
4-1?
interesting.
Has the China's start crossing played yet?
No, I think these 2 were cancelled. So the Fabro versus
Yeah.
Peter Huang and against Hong Yuan Xu were cancelled, and then there's 2 scheduled tomorrow that are completely different games. So there should be 4 left, which means Poland can still come back and win this one. So we don't actually know who wins and what the standings will be. So can't do the picks yet, and these will actually. Actually, they're just before the friendly open event. Actually, this one, the 1 p.m. is an hour before the friendly open event, so we can have a look at that. But if it comes down to the last one, then unfortunately we won't know.
Yeah, we can look at the Templar game if there's time. It's a different deck that it's interesting to see, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's up against, because if it's up against something like Star Crossing, it might actually be really boring as well. So
Yeah, and so what was I going to say? The first pick situation, so as you said, 7-1, China's still on course for that. So if they lose another game, then they cannot make it. If they win the remaining ones, they can. Then if it's all tied, I think we actually have to do the extra game if the teams even care. I mean, if they're not going to pick the same opponent, then they can just talk between them. But yeah. Otherwise, if they really determined to have the same opponent, then they would need to get the extra best of one just to get the first pick if they care. But
so
yeah.
will there be a stream announcement for that? Who picks what?
I don't know, so I won't be there if it. Well, now for sure we know that it's going to go down to the tomorrow afternoon. So if it clashes with friendly open, I can do it, and then
if
in
it's
the
after
evening.
friendly open, we can make a quick stream.
The problem is that it will be middle of the night in China when the friendly open event finishes. So I assume they won't be there to make the pick on the spot. They'd have to let us know in advance. But yeah, we'll let you know, I guess.
Okay.
So just to confirm, nothing else happening now, right? We're done. Yeah, seems like it. So
as far as I know.
That means we can go home. Okay, so thanks guys for doing this with me, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time, probably not tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow or maybe next week for the cut of the Thrones World Cup.
Bye-bye.
Bye.